Step 7 has tools to help us diagnose hardware problems. We're going to start Somatic Manager from the Start menu, clicking Somatic Manager. And what I've done is remove an analog module from an S7300 rack while the PLC was running to cause a problem in the PLC. And we could do this from within a project, but just to show that you don't have to have a project or know what's in the PLC to troubleshoot a fault condition, we're going to do it from Accessible Nodes. Within the Accessible Nodes window, we're going to click on the folder marked MPI2, which is where we have directly connected our communication cable. We'll go to PLC and choose Diagnose Hardware from the menu. That's going to bring up a window called Quick View, and it shows any CPU or faulty module problems that we have. See, we have the CPU with a red triangle on it, and the analog module is showing us having a fault. The CPU is in rack 0, slot 2. The analog module is in rack 0, slot 5. If we're not sure what the R and S or any of those abbreviations mean, we can click Help. Brings up our help window. Scroll down through there and find something that defines what R, S, and DP are. We see that R is the rack number, S is the slot number, and DP, or DP Master System, shows the station number on Profibus of a slave that would be having the problem. Okay, so we see that. If we click on the analog module, shows the address is at input 272. That's the input address there. It's not Profibus. It is on the local rack. If we click module information, it shows the CPU's gone to stop. We're dealing with a module at input address 272, rack 0, slot 5 is where it is. It's a single width module. And the problem is the module's configured, but it is not present there. Step 7 is looking for an analog input module there. Because we are not within a project, we don't know the actual part number of that module. Had we been doing this from within a project, it would have shown the part number and module type there. But it does know it should be an analog input there, and actual type is what's in the rack, and there's nothing there, so it says not available. Well, that's pretty well told us the problem right there. The module's missing. If we select CPU and then hit module information, this gets us the same window that we could get from the menu going PLC module information. Can select the diagnostic buffer to see the last 100 events, and we see there at number 4 we had a stop caused by I/O management. Well, if we don't know what that means, we click Help on Event while you highlight Event 4. And on an S7300, it tells us the CPU has detected a modification in the actual I/O configuration because a module was inserted or removed in the run mode. Don't do that. Okay, it's pretty direct and to the point as far as what caused the problem. If we look at the next most recent error, we also get help on that. It says, all right, S7300, a module was removed or inserted illegally, which means we pulled it out with the power on. It doesn't like that. If we look at the next error code, we see it's referring to address 272. I was trying to find that module at 272, which up in the quick view window we know to be the analog module in slot 5. So at this point we know where the problem is. We can go out and correct that. If we want to get a little more detailed information or look at it just in a different way, we can go Open Station Online. And this brings up our hardware configuration tool, just like we'd use within a project. But by doing it from the Diagnosing Hardware Quick View window, it actually uploads that, puts us into an online condition. Right now it's pulling up the information out of the S7315 CPU. It's bringing up all the I/O module information that is shown in that rack. And here we have our hardware tool. If we double click on the title bar, that will bring it up to a full screen view for us. We can move the divider down to get the two panes a little more evenly divided. We can make the window that has the PLC rack a little larger. And if we hit update racks or just the F4 function key, that will get everything slid back into position like we need it. See there, the CPU has a red diamond or triangle on it. The analog module has a red slash through it saying it's not there. If we go down below and see where the rack's broken out a little more, we see the part number of the analog module. If we spread the columns apart, it shows the input address and output address where everything is set up. So we can see pretty well the problem is we don't have that module where we think we should. If we want to right click on the module and say object properties, you can see a little more information about it, the type of module, the resolution it has, and basically see that the two problems we have are the analog module, which is causing a fault back up at the CPU level. So that lets us close the hardware tool now, since we've seen everything we need to see there. Go back to our quick view. At this point, I'm going to plug the analog module back into the rack and turn the key switch back to stop and to run to reset the fault that we had and clear everything out. If I hit the update button here on the quick view window, we'll see the CPU. Now we have the blue diamond showing there's not a problem anymore, that everything has been cleared out and corrected. If we go back to our module information, it will open that window again. Diagnostic buffer shows us between 132 and 143, we went from having an error condition. Then at 143, we went through our startup sequence by going through the key switch. So we can close that. We can close our quick view window now that we see we do not have any problems left on the PLC rack. Then we can close our accessible nodes window. We're through looking at the hardware, and close our way out of Somatic Manager. So once again, we do have tools there available either through the project or through accessible nodes, either way, to go in and look at a problem, diagnose what the fault cause was, and get that corrected. Plenty of help files to guide you along the way.